So our listeners, excuse me. So we'll get into that later on. But I just wanted to mention, just for some quick gab, I'm not going to hold up our time and getting right into talking to these wonderful men. I just wanted to mention for the first time in history, congratulations to Miss America.
Yes.
Miss USA.
Yes.
Miss Teen. And to our newly elected 2019 State of Maryland Speaker of the House, Adrienne Jones.
Yes.
All of these women are the first African American women to achieve these platforms, and we want to definitely let them know we appreciate you making your mark. So shout out to them.
Yes.
Definitely. So we're
Women power.
Definitely.
Yes.
And we ended the month of April with having the month of youth. Mm-hmm. But then we're going into Women of Power. So, hey.
Yes.
All right.
Wonderful.
So we're excited to start off May with just some wonderful, talented people. And actually today, part of the theme is guests who actually kind of pay their own way.
Absolutely.
They didn't follow all the rules that are set for. Sometimes they, did it was kind of a self thing. Mm-hmm. I did me. Which is sometimes a really good thing, and you learn some stuff along the way. So you take a little what everybody else does, and you put a little of your stuff on it, and you can achieve, one thing. So that's what our guests are going to be showing about their journeys. We can get right into it, and we'll just kind of flow because it's, like she said, it's a lot of energy in the room. So, warning. I don't know where this is going.
We gotta get prepared.
But let me, first, I'm going to introduce someone who, give you a little background. In 2010, he began his career as a singer-songwriter with the release of his debut album, All of Me, with international acclaim. He is an independent, creative entrepreneur who believes in the philosophy of creating what you want to see.
All right.
In 2012, after a 3-month singing invitation in Japan, he returned to the States ready to create a platform designed specifically for independent artists. From that, the Blend Live was born, which is an independently produced music showcase. Okay. In 2013, he decided to bring awareness to the growing need of registered organ and tissue donors. And on December 9th, 1998, he successfully donated his kidney to his mother.
Oh, bless your heart.
That is absolutely amazing.
We'll talk about it more.
Cool. Yes, absolutely. The sacrifice. Wonderful. Mm-hmm. In 2015, he re-released his debut project, All of Me, Revisited. Then in 2019, he released his second project, The Blend Live Evolution. Please welcome Mr. Brian Christopher.
Yes.
Pleasure to be here, ladies.
Yes, how are you? Welcome.
Long time no see. It's great to meet you.
Yes.
Great to meet you too.
So,
Definitely.
Brian.
What's happening?
Now, I'm just going to share a little bit. Brian, sometimes it could be any day of the week. Brian might be riding home from work somewhere. I don't know where he's coming from sometimes. And he'll just start to singing while he's driving.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's like a concert in car kind of thing. So.
I haven't done that. I haven't done that in a while.
You haven't,
because my little, I need to get another little sticky to put up on the thing. So,
yes. I enjoyed that. I'm just saying.
So wait a minute, he actually went live.
I would go live.
He did live. It was like a concert
and I'm
live.
singing my stuff.
Driving and it was wonderful. It was like while you doing whatever you're doing, you're like, oh, he's singing so good.
Yeah, and it was amazing because when I stopped, almost like what you're saying, you don't realize how many people miss it, right?
Right,
you're like,
right.
We ain't gonna do that again. I was like, I'm trying to find a little sticky thing first. Hold up.
Yes, so I just wanted to let you know, I would tune in sometimes and listen.
Awesome.
And a lot of people did, and they were just like, I know
that
that's
is
right.
awesome.
So, when you get back to that, you just let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Awesome.
I definitely want to tune in.
Well, I'll just pop up. You just gotta show up.
Yes.
All right, pop up.
Yeah, I try to friend you, but you gotta.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You got so many friends. All you do is follow. Just follow. Be like the little kids with the thing. Follow the leader with the little strings around.
I can't be your friend.
I can't be your friend. So it's like
I got you, Brian. I'll take care of that this evening.
All right. Well, I mean, don't make me no promises.
I got you.
Important people. I might not be one of them.
Listen. You know what?
So what's going on with you, Brian?
Oh man, life is good. I have no complaints about it. Life in general. Let me shout out my oldest daughter. She's getting ready ready to graduate.
Congratulations.
So she's off to college. She's going to actually attend Stevenson University up in Owens Mills, actually.
Nice.
And I didn't realize, I've passed that school, but I didn't realize how expensive it is. So thank God she's a straight A student and is getting a full ride up there. So
maybe that was the energy. You kept passing it because something kept saying.
I'm just saying, like, what is happening, man? But she's been wanting to be a forensic medical examiner for like as long as I can remember.
Oh, wow.
Thanks to CSI and all that stuff. And I'm not mad, you know what I mean? But I will say I'm super, super proud of her. And my youngest is right behind her. She'll be a senior next year and off to college too. Then I'll have two college students, man. Okay. So that'll be awesome. But
congratulations.
So personally, things are really good. And then, still doing music. And music is a big part of who I am, obviously. I mean, we've known each other for a while.
Yes.
And just listening to the bio, sometimes I'd be like, did I write that? But I think so. I think so. But the one thing that stood out to me just listening to it when somebody reads it back to you is I'm just creating what I want to see.
Right.
The main thing for me from the beginning, and I've been I'm thankful to be able to have played all of the major venues from Blues Alley, Carlisle Club, Bethesda Blues, Travel, things like that. But there's nothing like kind of creating and seeing your vision from start to beginning, because everything that you do when you associate yourself with something that's already established, there is some kind of compromise. Right. And compromise is fine, but you also got to realize there's another part to that, and it's humble beginnings when you do it by yourself, but there's like huge rewards at the end because you don't have to compromise, and so you see things from the infancy all the way up to whatever you consider success. And for me, I want to say I've been pretty successful doing it my way, and
I agree.
And the Blend Live is one testament of that, because I remember when I first started, and I started in 2009 just singing. I didn't release my project till 2010.
Okay.
And I remember I was trying to work with somebody, and they, just the same thing, kind of assimilate yourself with somebody who already had something going on. I didn't know a whole lot of people, and they were like, hey, let's do it this way, do it that way. And I instantly felt like, hold up, that's not even me, because it went against like who I was as a person.
You felt like you're losing yourself.
Yeah, because I'm like, wait, you know what I'm saying? Let's do it this way, do it that way. And I remember in 2010, it was February 2010, and I said, and part of that kind of push that one person was trying to do, it was also a blocking, because he was trying to covet me for himself, as if I was just only talent and not a critical thinker.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And one of the things, and so keeping me from meeting new people and things like that, and I didn't know. So February 2010, I was like, hey man, appreciate you, everything you've done with me from that. And I made a phone call to a brother that we were mutual friends, but we hadn't really connected. And shout out to Dion. He goes by Detox as his producer. And I remember calling him up. I said, listen, bro, I feel like I'm a strong enough writer. I just needed some tracks. I hadn't got into playing anything at the time. And he said, man, I want to release the album in 6 weeks. And I wrote, and I, did everything in 6 weeks and recorded and did everything. And, it was it was liberating.
Right.
Because I hadn't been singing or doing anything prior to that, like on an independent level. But in 6 weeks, March 19th of 2010, I released my first album. That kind of spawned my whole career and just the whole thought process
yourself, right.
of being an independent artist. And that was like, to me, the epitome of being independent. So and here we are 10 years later, and I'm excited about life and what's going on, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, what kind of what genres of music do you sing?
I like to say I'm an R&B singer.
Okay.
I mean, rhythm and blues. Like, we say R&B and we forget sometimes what it means, right? R&B, right? But it's rhythm and blues, You're like, what is R&B?
Right.
And R&B, the rhythm, has sometimes hip hop influence, a jazz influence. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just the rhythm that comes with it. But I think the main part is the lyricism of it, the things you talk about, real life. Of course, I'm more of a romantic relationship kind of person, and every now and again I'll get a little headbangers, but for the most part it's it's that kind of that real kind of honest, gritty stuff that it's smooth, but the things I'm talking about, it's like real stuff that brothers in particular might go through, and maybe some of the songs would cater to the ladies, like, well, I like that, you know what I'm saying? and then if she likes it, hopefully she'll let him hear it, and you know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of always been my steez too. Like, of course, the ladies will be more into a male R&B singer than a guy. Hey man, listen to my R&B. It just doesn't go over that well, you know what I mean? That's nice, you know what I'm saying? But so the ladies on my gateway, I had to learn that. It took me a few years. you ladies on my gateway to the fellas, and, because I said I'm just leave the fellas alone, man. You'll catch it if your lady like it.
You probably looking at like y'all buy records too, right?
Hey, you buy records too, but we just say they just
don't you want to play this for your lady? But you gotta find a creative way.
Y'all have to be that gateway. Listen, tell this to your man, and maybe y'all come to a show or something.
Right. I get it. So. Yeah. Okay.
So, and listening to your bio, I do want to reflect back to your touching story about your mom.
Yeah.
Could you share?
So so I'm an only child, and and so it's just me and my mom.
Too.
Me and my mom, we just grew up, and my mom always had my back, and did the best she could to raise me, and we just moved all around. So I always say, excuse me, I'm DC born and PG fed. You know what I'm saying? Because
I get that.
we lived in DC till about 5, and then we moved out.
Story,
so we moved out and just moved. And just give you background, I went to 6 different elementary schools. So my mom just tried to keep us in the best place she could afford, right? So probably about 1997, early 98, she had started having complications with her kidney. And I still to this day don't really know exactly what it was. She didn't have to go on dialysis or anything, thankfully, but it was some complications with it to the point where it was either dialysis or a kidney transplant. Well, it was no thought for me. So of course I just went, but thankfully, just learning the process, me being her only child, it was no guarantee that I would be a match, because it's not just blood type. There's certain cells called antigens, things like that, and a series of other tests you had to go through. I just so happened to be a great match for
Wonderful.
her. And people say no wonder, because if you see my mom, they say she spit you right out, so you better have everything.
That's true.
And so December 9, 1998, we went under and came out successful, and we just celebrated 20 years December 9th, man.
Awesome.
So shout out to my mom, Odell Jackson.
Shout out to your mom.
She's recently retired last year.
What a life. Come on now.
She's enjoying life, and I'm thankful. So these 20 years has been, a blessing.
That is wonderful.
I never really used it as a platform, though. I will be honest, because it was such a personal thing. And I didn't want to use that as some kind of anchor, to try to get people to, buy my record or whatever that, you know what I mean? And I never even thought of it like that. But one day I did decide, I came to the realization and acknowledgement that singing or any kind of art, particularly performance art, is a platform. And there's nothing wrong with platforms.
No. That's right.
You know what I mean? And I think obviously some people use platforms for their own good, or they try to manipulate people and things like that. But for me, I realized, I had the ear of a lot of people, primarily through my music, but then as people started creating what I wanted to see, and people coming to the shows that I created, stuff that I wouldn't be able to do at a blues alley necessarily, or at a Carlisle club, because I'm on a time constraint and this, that, and third. I said, man, you know what? I want to create something where not only would it be, pleasing to the ear, musically, but something that could also be used to bring awareness to something that obviously had become really important to me over the years, because of what I was able and blessed to be able to do for my mom, and just understanding. So I started understanding like the statistics, particularly for black people, and just the idea of how important it is to even be a donor within your ethnic group, because it increases your chances to be able to do it. So I did that and became a partner with an organization called Donate Life America. So I'm actually an official partner with them, and so my organization, or my event I call the Blend Live, part of proceeds goes to them. I've committed part of my proceeds anything I do will go to them. So, you'll be getting your $2 soon.
Okay, yeah, we got jokes.
Wait a minute. And what was the name of that foundation again?
Donate Life America. Shout out to everybody who's ever bought a ticket or a CD or anything like that. Made commitment to, make sure that some of the proceeds will go there.
Absolutely.
And, just to continue to, build an awareness for organ donation, organ and tissue donation. There's so much that you can donate. And I would just put this shameless plug out, and it's not as shameless anymore, that if you ever considered or haven't ever considered being a organ donor, I would challenge everyone to go ahead and when they go renew their license, just go ahead and check yes, because at the end of the day, you can save more lives after death. So I'm what you call a living donor, but you have post-mortem donors,
right.
And that's when you put the little heart on your license, And I mean, so many people from, like I said, kidney, heart, lungs, all that kind of stuff. And don't worry about, it's always about the intention. So don't worry about the black market stuff, because people always want to use that as a thing. Well, the black market. Well, guess what? Even if it is black market, someone is still living. You know what I'm saying? That's a life that has to do, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I don't think people need to be that cynical. You know what I mean? It's
but
more
the
about
special
your
part of what you did was that, because you can't, some people are donors, but you sometimes don't know who,
exactly.
After you don't know.
So the fact I'm able to know,
you to be able to donate to your mom, and
man.
that you all are still, everybody's here and enjoying life.
Man,
that's different.
Let me tell you, I remember the day I woke up, and that was very, that I woke up from the surgery, and I was always concerned about her, and they told me she was gonna be fine, man. I just started crying, but
absolutely.
But at the end of the day, good woman, and I'm glad to be able to help. I mean, maybe that's why we got to. I don't know, but at the end of the day, I'm just thankful I was able to do.
That bond had to have grown in that moment.
Yeah, well, that's why.
You think that it can't grow anymore from mom and son, but that has to be a special. Because it's probably rare that happens.
That happens.
Well, yeah, I don't know how rare. I don't know the statistics, but at the end of the day, whoever it is, I think it's just a blessing, and like you said,
story,
if you're able to, meet the person that you was able to either donated to you or, is the recipient, then hey,
being your mom is like the bomb.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah. So that tells a lot about you, though. So I agree that. I know some people do, but it's your story. So if you sing and you also did something amazing like that, then I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, I'm a person too. Because really people buy into you too.
Right. Yeah, first of all.
They like who Brian is. So you could be singing, you could do some straight go-go and or something different, and this might not be your regular genre, and they might say, well, I'm gonna see it anyway because it's Brian and I like Brian.
I agree, and I think just understanding that, so like to your point about regardless of what your genre is, whatever you're doing,
right.
Just like for me, I had to come to realization of what my platform was,
right.
And everyone, LeBron James got a large platform,
right.
So shout out to him, the things that he's able to do. But everyone has a platform of some level and some sphere of influence, I think, and I think that's kind of where the growth in your artistry, growth in your business come from. Just okay, so like this is what I'm doing. Yeah, I got a business. I'm trying to create a profit. I'm trying to do this. But I also got a platform, and if I had a message to go along with that,
absolutely,
it makes it even more powerful because, like you said, they're buying to
absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thanks for asking.
You're awesome.
Appreciate that.
One of the things I did want to mention, Lisa, we didn't let our guests know, or our listeners know, is that they need to key in on some of the things that are being said because we are going to be giving some giveaways.
Yes.
At the end of the show.
Should I tell them what it is?
Well, let's give them the little background on. Okay, so
you tell me. Look,
and then we'll let you do that.
We've been sharing some things. Brian's been speaking about some things that he's done and that kind of thing. So we hope that you have been listening. And I think it's kind of good that we didn't tell them up front because they should be listening anyway.
Well, definitely gotta be listening.
That's all I'm saying. Y'all should be listening. But no, so we're gonna let Brian share what he has some giveaways, and we are going to get him to sing a little bit. We
definitely are.
We voluntold him.
Yeah.
Voluntold me.
We voluntold him. But share with them
Gabbin.
what they can, what the giveaway is, and then we'll tell them, we'll come up with what the question is
The
to
question
maybe
is.
win that.
Okay, awesome.
And this goes for both of our guests.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
For
have
both of our
giveaways
guests.
all across the
Because we
board
have-
today.
yes.
That's why we got another guest.
So listeners, y'all better be
Make sure.
listening up. I mean, there's some good stuff.
All right, well, cool. So real quick, because I know you guys are so anxious to hear what we have. Listen,
We love giveaways.
My next show is Saturday, May 18th, which is a couple Saturdays from now, and I decided to do a tribute show. And I don't do tribute shows like that. The last one I did was about 5 years ago, in fact. And but if there are three artists that kind of help shape who I am as male artist, is one Mr. Gary Taylor, one Mr. Will Downing, and one Mr. Jeffrey Osborne for different reasons. But those guys to me are very, very dope. So I decided to bring that tribute show back and pay tribute to the music of. So I'm not trying to sound like them. You won't see me coming out in linen like Will Downing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Or muscle shirts like Jerry Osborne. I'm paying tribute. This is Brian Christopher paying tribute to the music of these cats.
So you don't want nobody in the audience saying, "I thought you said."
Yeah, nah, that's not
have a
gonna
tight
happen.
shirt.
That's not gonna happen. No tight shirt.
Will Darren not go?
No. So I'm paying tribute to the music of, and so I decided I'm gonna use this as a good opportunity to give away a pair of tickets. That's
Wonderful.
2 tickets for one
That
lucky
is
winner.
awesome.
Because most people like to come, with
Right, with
somebody.
somebody.
So I'm gonna give a pair of tickets.
Oh no!
Wait, what happened?
I want to know, can I qualify for this?
You gonna go out of the room and call in? Hold on. Hello.
They
He gonna run out.
cheating and
I'm
Yeah,
free
no.
that week.
So to the lucky caller, or whatever way the ladies of Girls Gabbin want to do it, one lucky winner will win a pair of tickets to my next show, and it's pretty much sold out. So you guys will be getting So you guys will be getting a pair, and hopefully you guys take them up on the offer.
So, Andrea, well, you decide what.
So how we were going to determine how they won these tickets was they were going to answer a question.
Now, should we wait? Okay, this is my
We can
first
wait.
question.
Go
You
ahead.
want to wait to the end of
Yes.
both of them, and
Absolutely.
then we'll do all the giveaways together.
Yep, we can do
but
that.
tell them what we're going to be asking them to do.
So we're going to be asking you a question based on the information they shared. Any question that we decide, of course, and whomever has the correct answer can go on Lisa's live.
Yeah, I'm hoping everybody
And
on my live. That,
hopefully, if you can hear us, tune into Lisa's live on Lisa Duff Washington's Facebook page. Hopefully, most of them are friends. That's going to eliminate some people.
So maybe the Win DC live.
Yes. So try
Live.
to win DC live feed.
That would-
Either way.
That would be fair.
Yeah, we'll gear everyone towards a Wendy C Live feed. Yeah, that would be fair.
If you need a plus one,
And then we will
still
select.
want them tickets.
I'm trying to go.
So yes, it'll be when we
we
tell
wrap
what the
up.
questions are. The first person to answer the question correctly on the Win DC live on Facebook will be the winner, and we
Absolutely.
will let everyone know so that we are playing above
Yeah,
because everybody's
because-
not going to be on my live, but
Right.
you can say it on my live, but it doesn't count until you're on the Win DC
So, right.
Facebook live. So just to give you the heads up. So
So
okay,
we'll do that at the end.
so knowing that you'll have some free giveaways, but that's not it. Because we're gonna actually introduce our other guests, and then we can just go around and
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Gabbin.
let's see who else we have around the table now. In 2006, he hit rock bottom going through a divorce, and weighing over. I do my
Wait, you
research.
said, wait a minute, that's how we gonna start off?
Yeah, I'm doing some research. Okay. And actually weighed over 300 pounds at the time.
Wow.
But motivated to write after supporting a friend who had released their own book. In 2007, he released Masquerade, which was hailed as one of the best self-published books of the year. Now, he sold 800 copies in the first 3 weeks, which is awesome. Okay. That success motivated him to furthermore lose some pounds and finish school.
All right.
And he became a high demand event host. Soon after, he released his second novel titled The Dirty Circle. We'll ask him some questions about that later. but we keeping the PG up in here. Okay. In which he actually sold 120 copies in under 3 hours. Okay, that is major. In addition, I believe I'm saying this right, Dynamite Films actually approached him to possibly turn The Dirty Circle into a featured film. He also has another book, and I'll let him share that. I believe is that your latest book. Okay, I'll let him share the latest book because he's on a roll. But I do want you to welcome Mr. Quashon Davis.
Yes,
And
welcome.
yes, he's going to share with us about the last book and then all that's going on.
Yeah, now
right,
that
Quashon.
Welcome,
I
Quashon.
appreciate it. I get to follow the brothers that's giving away kidneys and doing it down there. Yeah. Do it. Got the sold
Well,
out
wait a
show.
minute,
I gotta follow that. He got his
you know
own
what?
T-shirt on.
Well, look, this is not a competition.
Sure not, man.
If it was, I just lost.
No, you did not.
No, we got all winners up in here.
Absolutely.
But welcome, Quashon.
It's a pleasure to be
Yes.
here. First book, you really do your homework. Let me
I
start
do.
with that, 'cause I forgot some of that stuff.
Look, let me tell you. When I told him to send his bio, he was like, "Okay, I'm looking forward." So I just said, "You didn't." So
he
I
did not
said,
send his bio.
"Okay,
Okay."
And then I went into my research mode, and I said, "I'm not even going to bother him about sending that. I think I have what I need."
Okay.
So there you have it.
That's Girls Gabbin for you.
Okay.
You say no, you finding something to me, I'll find it for you. Okay.
So, Suspect Behavior is my newest book. Just to give you a quick breakdown of the books that I've written. Actually, I wrote a book when I was 12. So I
Okay.
knew that I was on that path the entire time. So when you have to stay in the house all the time, you're little and your mom's in school, it's either you watching reruns or welfare. She never got a dime of child support, and she's a judge now. So
Wonderful.
so
Look at
So things can
that.
happen.
yeah.
Okay.
Girl power been going on a long time.
I know that's right.
But Masquerade was a breakout.
Ooh.
I don't have a screenplay.
Right.
So bouncing around trying to get that off the ground, and then I wrote The Dirty Circle, and it was a big hit. Maybe because, a lot of people, they hear the title, they're like, oh. What's going on
The
here?
title does help, right?
That was my first reaction. I was getting ready, but I restrained myself.
He said he restrained himself. I'll let him tell me. I don't want to ask wrong.
I was getting ready to, and I said, I'm on camera.
He was like, what does that mean?
Right.
The Dirty Circle is
explain that.
actually a really good suspense story. It's about a detective. His name is Roger Merritt. One of the best detectives there is. And he's so into his work that he's neglecting his wife. And then he finds out she's having an affair. And instead of him confronting her about it, he decides, well, I'm one of the best detectives on the East Coast. I'll figure this out myself.
Oh.
And
Okay.
the trail that he followed sent him to his circle of friends. So
Oh, wow.
he begins to lose his mind as he tries to figure out
That sounds
who it is.
interesting.
Oh, wow.
So that's what The Dirty Circle was about, and it was really successful. And that's when I was like, I really got to get one of these on film. I really do. And then Suspect Behavior, which is my newest book, is basically a continuation of that detective's story as he tries to close his last case out. So after having a couple of directors approach me with my books and they wanted to do it and it kind of flamed out each time, I realized you have to do things yourself.
Absolutely.
You can't sit and wait. So I bought some film equipment. And that is my next step to jump into
Wonderful.
filmmaking. And I want to point out that there's this one character. His name is Harris. He's a singer. He's very good.
Is there any other characters
He's
available?
a great character. So
We doing a casting
Can
call.
Can we
like-
do a cast call?
Creating what you want to see. I love it.
Are you
know
doing a
that's
cast
right.
call? You got any more?
Casting call on spot.
On the spot, right
that's
here.
how you do it. But
He has a love interest, right?
of course.
You got
Putting out the man's
Okay. They already making the film.
Right.
She said she
I love it. I
Honey
love it.
roll. Honey roll. Okay,
I
all
love
right.
it.
So, know, that's what's going on.
That's
with me right about
exciting.
That is
You know,
awesome.
trying to make moves because, life is very unpredictable.
It is.
True.
I lost a guy that I went to high school with yesterday. And it's like, when these things happen, it really puts things in perspective and makes you realize just how precious every minute you have is.
Absolutely.
And it's like a minute that you waste, you're not going to get back. So I'm pushing and trying to get things done because
Awesome.
you never know when you're going to be,
Yeah, you got to make the best of every moment, and sometimes you don't want to get to a space where you're like, I should have done that.
Right.
right.
Wait
So
on
if
it.
it's possible, and winning to me is even just making the effort and taking the steps, because nothing is promised. But at least you could say, even if that didn't happen,
Happy
that I
you
was
tried.
going in that direction. I wasn't sitting and waiting for something to happen to push me there. So,
Right.
and it does take moments like that when you're like, ooh, especially if they're young, you're your age.
Absolutely.
And we're getting older to
Yeah,
where
yeah.
that is part of our journey is losing people.
Yes.
And it's a it jerks you into some stuff like
Gives you some
I need to be
realization.
doing something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, lately I've been saying, I said, it's interesting, like when we were little, and somebody said, well, I'm going to give you 75, 80 years. You can live to 75 to 80.
Right.
You'd be like, oh, that's a long time, right? Until you're 50.
Right.
You'd be like, can I get about 10 more? Just 10 more.
Yeah, you
know what I
used
mean?
up some of
Right.
those years.
Yeah,
Right.
you know,
Look
and
at
so, that's why I try to push my daughters. I have an 18 and a 16, and I'm like, listen, live your life even now. It's fine. Learn things. It's okay because, once you get into your 20s and your 30s, this stuff starts seemingly speeding up somehow, you know what I mean? And so I would definitely encourage any young person or wherever you are, wherever you kind of get that revelation, to kind of start rolling.
Yes.
Just do it, man.
Just
So
do
I
it.
applaud you, man. for,
Definitely.
Yes.
learning some new crafts even, after doing this. Hey, if it's not working, let's do it. Let's do something else, right?
Well, and that's what this is about. Self. You all
Yeah.
decided that you were going to set the rules and
Exactly.
and make it happen for yourselves, even if somebody else wasn't moving.
Exactly, because I got to race against the clock because they keep opening up new wing stops and all these other
You know
places.
what?
So,
Him and the Wingstops though. Wait.
I don't know.
What's up with the
That's
Wingstop?
what time they close. We gotta make sure you get them wings
That's
tonight.
kind of a private joke. Okay.
Okay, because I'm trying to understand like what's happening. Like
The Wingstop,
Like,
I mean,
I get it. I
kind
know
of a
wings out,
private
but I'm trying to understand. Like, all right, I'll leave that alone.
Yeah, he's in the pre-show moments,
Quashon.
right?
Okay.
Quashon, listening to your journey, and I have to step back and I'm going back over what your testimony led you to as far as leading into your novels. And as Lisa mentioned, you're divorced in 2006. Kind of, okay, all right. Well, we're good with that. I'm glad we're good with that. So we got over that part. But
Say, ain't
We're
nothing
doing
to say
it.
about it.
okay, so we got the thumbs up on that. But however, it led you into another journey.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, just your journey with your weight loss, self-reflection.
When you're in a relationship that's really bad, you become really bad. And you become uncaring, filthy. You don't care how you look. You don't care how you live.
Right.
And next thing you know, you're hiding from people, your family, your friends. No one sees you. And depression is real. It happens and you don't even know it.
It is.
Right.
Until one day you see somebody and they don't even recognize you. Because you're not taking care of yourself. So it was a long road back, but I would never get into that place again.
Okay.
Right.
At least not for that satanic animal I was married to.
Okay.
Okay.
But not for anybody
Okay.
else. For anybody else. And we're going to bring it on back.
Right.
Moving along.
Right.
We
We're going to take it on back. Okay. He did it totally for
I did.
himself.
I gave a warning.
Is that too much?
Yeah.
We're going to bring it on back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, the journey was for
Yeah, we
himself.
keeping it real, but just one reel, not two. Just one reel. I'm sorry. Or do I make the disclaimer? The words of our guests did not necessarily reflect a Girls Gabbin show. just
On
saying.
the station. Right.
We got some comedy going on in here, yes.
But it's
Sean
all
is
good.
a comedian
It's all
as
good.
well.
But no, I mean, in understanding it was a journey for you.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's what you had to go through.
Absolutely. It makes you
wonderful. I mean, and the
But it
outcome of
motivated
that.
you into some wonderful
Absolutely.
things. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
I mean, and within that next year, here's Masquerade. 800 copies sold in 3 weeks.
Well, you know what that
That's
shows you,
awesome.
that you can go through some things, some really rough things in life, and we all handle it differently. But to me, most of the time, I believe that out of this too shall pass, and out of that, always, if you're in the right mindset, can bring you something so
much
wonderful.
better.
You just have to be able to recognize that once this is over, this is what I can do. And it takes some people longer than others, but it is, it's a rainbow on the
You
other
recognize
side.
And it's interesting because, so you say your first kind of major after you were 12 was after the divorce. So that's kind of what happened with me. I separated in 2009, and prior to, I wasn't doing anything of singing or anything like that. And I decided, damn, with this, man, I'm going to do something that I want to do for me.
That's right.
And that's when I started this whole independent journey, man. So it's kind of, it's one of those liberating moments. I think. I mean, maybe not the ideal, but I think it's there's a certain level of liberation.
Definitely.
Right.
And because when you're dealing with art, one thing you got to realize, like, some of the best art comes out of pain, and some of it just comes out of just sheer determination. And I think if you have the balance of both,
Absolutely.
then it's like a beautiful story to be
Oh,
told,
yeah.
whether it's literary or if it's, performing arts or anything like that. So I feel like, hey, I bet you if you ask a lot of singers or artists of any kind,
anybody.
it should be similar stories, It'll be similar stories, and unfortunately, something had to die for something to be birthed.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I mean, now the world is being able to get something different,
I'm telling you, that
That
creative
is.
mind is a beast.
It is.
Yeah, it can
When
be.
it's used,
Yeah.
on both ends of it, but it's because of the emotion and the creativity of it
Yeah.
is why
Yeah.
it can be really hard, but you get that much more times when it goes to the
Right.
good. So
Yeah.
But one thing I will say, I mean, are we in the Gabbin part now?
Yes, we
Okay.
go
I
ahead.
didn't know. I've been
always
waiting on the Gabbin. I'm ready. I was like, because it felt like a
and
one
we're going to
big
do the
long.
giveaway in a minute.
It felt like a one big long introduction between everybody, right? So one thing I will say, since you say you wanted to highlight the idea of kind of creating what you want to see idea. There's a lot of creativity that's out there that is not paired properly, in my opinion, with the right amount of marketing expertise and understanding business
Right.
and business acumen.
Right.
So in other words, there's a lot of art that will never be heard. And so I would like to commend you, because at the end of the day, there had to be a level of business acumen and a marketing plan that went towards selling those. And the same thing with me and selling mine, because nobody is just going to come knock on your door. And I'm pretty sure you can tell your story in them 3 weeks. And some of them might have came easy, but a lot of them came from your hard work and you beating that pavement and make sure that the right people heard or read or got their hands on it. Same thing with me and my music. Because I know a lot of people that were doing it way longer than me, and here I come, I'm in my 30s, like, hey, when I started,
Right.
and I'm getting opportunities on top of it. They're like, how you doing? And I'm just like, look, man, I'm not waiting on anybody first.
it.
And
That's
so let me say this to any artists or aspiring, particularly artists and it's like creatives, like, you just can't think that if you build it, they will come. I think that is a fallacy. Every now and again you'll get a LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? As far as like just this natural super talent everybody's going to gravitate to. Everybody else got to work. I don't know what you think about that, man.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah, you got to work, man.
Right.
So congrats to you and that,
Absolutely.
and to you
Absolutely.
ladies
Congrats
too.
to
you.
Well, thank
This
you.
is big. I
Thank
mean,
you.
because this, I'm sure
Yeah.
you guys got stories and leading. I know part of your story as far as in the creative part, and so that's
Thank
good.
you.
And Quashon, share with us, because you're going to do a giveaway too. What do you have?
I have 2 books. I have The Dirty Circle and Suspect Behavior.
Ooh,
And they are fantastic page turners. And
sounds like it.
I will sign them. I will put something personal in each one for whoever wins.
Okay.
Okay, y'all hear that, right?
I need to get
Okay.
mine too. I just wanted to let you know.
So before we get into the giveaways, we want you to first, Quashon, while we have you right here, share with us how they can get in touch with you, get your books. For those who don't win, sorry, but everybody can't
They
win.
still
Everybody can't win.
available for
But they can still get them.
They can still get them.
You can still get
So for
them.
those who won't win these two
Yeah.
copies,
Absolutely.
I need you to let them know how they can get those.
Absolutely. I'm on Amazon,
Okay.
BarnesandNoble.com. I'm on all of those, ebook, Kindle, all that stuff. My Facebook is author Quashon Davis. I respond to everybody, no matter who it is, no matter where they're from.
Okay.
So
Is there a phone number or anything, or you just inbox you message?
I'm
just
You know everything else. You probably already know it.
I'm just asking.
And the phone number.
well, after a stringent screening process, I
Right.
may
Then you'll give out
pass
the
it
number.
on.
Okay.
Are you also on Instagram?
Now that's what I got to get better.
Oh, well,
at.
you got to do that.
I got to get better.
That's
at
what.
that.
That's
We're
you gotta
working
plug
on
it in.
Quashon because
Yeah.
you're here.
Yeah.
But let me ask you one favor. Can you please spell your name for those that may be looking for you?
Sure. It is
How unique it is.
QUASHON.
Okay.
And on Facebook, his actual name is author
Quashon.
Quashon Davis, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so
All
you
right.
all can go out there and follow him, see what's going on.
Ready?
Yeah.
So, Ryan, please share with them how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah.
Not just for this event coming up, but just for everything you're going to have going on.
Yeah, okay. Well, I would say the hub is always and forever be BrianChristopherOnline.com.
Okay.
So if you're interested in purchasing or music or find out where I am, go there. But if you want to connect on social, I'm at BChrisMusic. So that's on primarily Facebook and Instagram. But much like Quashon, you know, I respond to you as long as you're not crazy. You know what I mean? I'll delete a. I've been
can't
on
make
this.
no
Hey, look, I've been on
guarantees
this. I'm gonna be honest on this Facebook thing. I've been on a delete kind of like a boy. It's like a diet. Delete. Hey, look,
like a diet.
people hit me up. People hit me up, and they be like, "I ain't know what happened to us." I be like, "Man, it was like you know how the runner got to run through the tape." I was running through the tape. I was like, "Oh damn, I got rid of people." Sorry, mom.
You just had to delete days.
And it just kept on. My finger couldn't stop, so I've been on the league. So I went from like 4,000 to about like under 1,000. I'm proud to be under 1,000 friends. I'm like, because first of all, you know how many people 1,000 friends are?
Yeah.
1,000 friends, and they give you 5,000 limit. And some people be
Why we
trying
gotta
to
put
fill
me
them
out,
up.
though?
Some people be trying to fill them up.
I know
And
that.
all you can do is follow them. So if you want to follow me or connect at BChrisMusic and but BrianChristopherOnline.com. And that's my hub, and I got quite a pretty busy schedule too. So hopefully I'll see you, if not at the 18th. I got a whole long list of things coming up.
Well, and what we'll do is ask you, and also
Right.
Quashon, you with any places where you're going to be selling your
Absolutely.
book, for you all to share that with us,
Okay.
so we can put it on the Girls Gabbin page, and they
Absolutely.
can kind of make sure they're,
Absolutely.
they know what's going on.
Yeah.
So now we need to kind of pick out before
What
we
questions?
get some
Before we get
some singing
some
going
singing
on.
going
Somebody sing? Quashon, you singing?
I can something.
Okay, so you gonna do the background? Okay.
No, row your boat going on. Okay, we're gonna save that for the shower or something.
I
But
was open to it. Yeah.
but okay, so we we need to pick a question for Brian and for Quashon, and we'll go back actually because I'm not tuned into the Winn-Dixie, but we'll find out
who it is.
answered the question
And then,
correctly and get that information to you all so we can give the winners the
And
information.
with the whole watch party thing, you can watch party
Oh,
that
yes.
again, and then actually interact with them live as your watch party is going on of this
Correctly.
particular broadcast.
Right.
You can save it, so that's a really dope.
Thank you
thing.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
forgot
then
about
you
the
can
watch
tune
party
in.
thing.
Then she can join you on the watch party, so everyone we can all be joining together watching the watch party together.
So should I do that now?
No, once you finish,
Once I
just
finish.
save it.
Okay.
And then it'll be saved into your videos.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you go back either tonight or
I'm
tomorrow.
gonna get you to write this down.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it. It's also
You giving us
part
a
of what I
lesson? We
do,
don't know.
so-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lesson notes I gotta take.
Quashon definitely doesn't have
I'm
it.
I have
trying to
actually have a
Instagram.
digital marketing agency that I
That,
do.
you
So
Yeah, I'm gonna need
that's
some
what I do.
directions.
Yeah, I'll show you guys how to do
Yeah.
I just learned Facebook Live.
Right.
Sue me.
It's okay.
Yeah, I am.
Wow.
No, but we definitely want to figure out how to do that. But this is
Yeah.
exciting. So,
Okay.
Andrea, why don't you pick the question, and then I'll pick one for Quashon,
Okay.
and then we'll go back and see who the winners are.
Think,
So,
are you making the questions catered towards just them or just them as an overall? Because I got quite a few that I could probably.
just something that would, we don't want it too easy, but just something that makes sure they were paying attention.
You got a question?
But it can be
or
why
why don't we have them ask the question?
Because I can't remember what I said, first of all. So.
Well, but you. Okay, so
Yeah, you know you. So
yeah, let's
something
put it on
from
you.
you. Yeah, let's put it back on you
that
guys.
Okay, I got something that they could have been listening to for myself. All right. In 2012, I was able to travel outside the country on a singing invitation.
Okay.
Which country did I travel to?
I love that one. So the first person to answer that question on the Win DC Radio Facebook Live post for Girls Gabbin will win 2 tickets. And 2 tickets to what?
So to my next show, it's called A Soulful Tribute to the music of Gary Taylor, Will Downing, and Jeffrey Osborne on Saturday, May 18th.
Okay. Wonderful.
All right.
Okay, so we'll let you know who the winners are. And now, Quashon, what's something that we talked about that would win them? And I don't know, you can do this 2 ways. It can be 2 questions for each book, or 1 question, and then they'll get both books. Okay. Well, let's do it that way.
One is continuation of the next one.
Right. Okay.
Well, how about what was the full name of the main character?
That's a good one.
In which book?
Same one in both.
Same book. Okay. So who was the name of the main character?
Full name, right?
The full name of the main character that actually is in both books, which is The Dirty Circle and Suspect Behavior. Okay, so.
And for fool, she means first and last name, because people act like they don't know. First and last name. It was Mr. Higginbotham. Like, no, he gave a name.
You right. Sometimes we got
first
be real
and last
specific.
name of the main character, right?
First and last name.
First and last
Can you
name.
tell them where to put these answers? Because someone on my Facebook Live answered the question he asked.
Well, no, you got
we already told them now. Win DC, Facebook Live, and Win DC Radio has a Facebook page. It's WINDC Radio.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Facebook. They have a Facebook page, and they go live while we're live on the show. So if they go to that, their page.
So they're live now. The one that's
you
watching
being
on right now.
filmed,
Yes.
Okay.
So you can go
Seeing
straight to
everything
Win DC.
right there.
Actually, now they can flip over, go to Win DC's Facebook page on their live of us as we're currently speaking, and they can type in what the answer is. If we, when we go back, we'll be able to see that they answered the question, and they could win.
Yeah, she got that.
So hopefully they got that. You got your live, okay.
Or just make sure you let them know. Okay.
Yeah, but that's where we'll be tracking the first answers. So you all better,
Go to that Facebook
yes,
Live.
go on over there and answer those questions and get those tickets and the books. So
all
we're
you know is
excited
gonna go
about
down to
that.
0. they gotta leave you to go over there.
So what we're
Everybody
going
get
to do
off
now,
Hey!
we have a few minutes, and since we have Brian in the, and he actually has some goodies for us too. So I don't know if I could share with you all, but we got the CD.
Yeah.
Andrea, you got the CD. So we got some listening music for our way home after the show.
Yeah.
But Brian, we want you to you knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah, I did.
You prepared. You ready?
So we want you to sing us a little something. What is a favorite song that the ladies or guys like to
No,
hear?
because for some reason I thought you guys had like a little like the full setup because I bought my little chord and everything. So you just want me to do Acapulco.
Yeah.
Oh,
you want to do
Acapulco.
Okay. All right. That's what you want?
Acapulco.
You okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with
All
that.
right.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
I just wanted to make sure I was
Because he got
understanding
skills. So.
understanding the rules of engagement here.
Because I'm telling you, when he's in the car, he's just.
Oh, that's right.
But I got music with me.
Well,
all
you
the
do
time.
have
Yeah.
kind of, sort of, but still.
But you can play it off your phone, the music.
Yeah, that's maybe
and I'm
Still
even-
pick it up on your microphone.
Yeah, I'll do it like
So
that.
you
That'd
absolutely
be
are
cool.
fine.
And I'm usually listening to his voice. I ain't pay attention to music sometimes.
Yeah,
It's like,
that was the whole
I'm listening
point.
to your voice. So.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, let me see.
So, Quashon, while he's doing that, I do have one other question for you.
Sure.
I know you stated that the books are available. He said he can run it through the mic if you need him to.
Oh, if you can. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
All right. Get a host.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I got this, and I just need the 1/8 inch.
So y'all hold on tight because we're about to.
Your
I
book
had the official,
in Barnes and Noble.
and I'll be able to hear it through
on
here,
those
obviously,
sites.
right?
It's by your last
Okay,
name.
cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That will work. That's okay. You're fine. Take your time. We appreciate that.
it, yeah.
He's gonna get the adapter.
It kind of caught you off guard a little. Well,
Well, he kind of heard it in.
I love it.
No, when you said it, like, you know,
Ready.
we're ready for you. You know,
You say, don't tell me I ain't ready. I'm ready. I just ain't ready, but
We
I'm
have
ready.
help in the house, so that works.
we got Quashon on live now. You can learn something new. They see? You can learn something new. Are you talking to you? You're trying to teach him a few things.
I'm getting better.
You
Okay.
I'm,
Oh, that's right. It's already a relationship here, so you're familiar with Mr. Brian. They already have a history as well. So that's awesome too.
part of the DC Radio family.
Yes, I've heard.
Yeah, been through.
All right, Brian.
It's just hanging out.
As far as we can go with it.
Yeah. I got
That's
it.
it right there? Okay. Oh, we'll do it like
That's
that.
how we do.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Okay.
Just, I guess it'll let me know. You'll let us know when it was ready? Or should I go ahead and play it now?
Just give me 15 seconds.
All right.
Okay.
14. 13. 10.
So is it too late to buy tickets?
No, man.
I don't
So,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have some, I got some available. So, yeah.
Do I get like VIP?
Yeah, do you get front row?
VIP, man. You always
What is it?
very, you always,
They get how they get VIP?
Oh, you know how to do this, right?
I already got my tickets. Wait a minute.
no, ain't no
I'm just kidding.
Trying to get some free food.
What venue is it?
So I rented out a venue down.
Oh, you
at-
rented
yeah,
out one?
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's nothing like known.
Look at you knowing how to work the thing out.
Well,
Okay.
we're gonna see if that works. We'll see.
Maybe he can teach us something.
Okay.
Yeah,
We students too.
because that's an adapter. So anyway,
Yeah,
I guess
we're
I'm
getting that straight. Yeah. So, but thank you all
You can
for
sing
coming
background.
oh
on.
man, this is awesome, man.
gonna
I
put you up
appreciate
to
it.
the
Really
microphone.
appreciate
And
it.
The
I'm
mic
glad
is
to be.
hot.
So, are we the first male guest period on your show?
No, not the first male
Oh, okay.
guest, but this is
Okay.
we already knew that June was going to be our month to just kind
okay.
of shout out the
So
men.
we're not the first.
So you're not the
Oh, don't feel
We're
that
not.
way. It's okay.
But you're
It's
the
all right.
first
You're first.
We're the best
singer.
You know, men always want to know are we the
And
best.
You're the first singer.
author.
Are we the
And the
best?
first author.
But that's
Right,
not-
I believe
okay.
so.
Okay, so y'all the first.
stretching.
So you all are
So we the
first.
best singer and the best author.
I
right?
said the first.
first.
Y'all are all the best.
Well,
You give 8th place trophies, don't you? I know you do.
That's one of my pet peeves.
Eighth place trophies. You want little Timmy?
Look, y'all can't do that to us.
Nico, let us know when you're ready.
Oh, y'all are a
Oh,
mess.
my goodness.
Y'all are a mess.
So the song I'm gonna sing is actually the very first song I wrote and released, and it's always it's one of my favorites. But it's called "I Wonder." You probably remember that song, and "I Wonder" is about one of the songs of the one that might have gotten away. I heard somebody recently say that a good mate or whatever might come. You might run into somebody that could be potentially your good mate maybe 3 times in your life. One you might let pass. One you might try, it doesn't work out, and hopefully by the time your life is over, you'll run into somebody just good. I don't know how true it is.
I haven't heard of that
you know
before.
What I'm saying? So I, because I kind of believe that I'm not a big proponent of soulmates. I feel like if given certain situations wherever you might be, you can run into somebody else that could just fulfill you in a whole nother kind of way than the other person is. So just to say there's only one person in this world, I don't know, because we all make choices, right?
Right.
And then the same way, I mean, because you know how many people prayed and got their soulmate, and they got their soulmate. They
Well,
got it.
let
They
me
got
let
their
me say
soulmate.
this. Sometimes you actually get what you pray for,
And that's what
so
the whole
that's
was.
when you actually need to maybe
Pray again.
work on the prayer.
So it's the prayer?
Pray
because-
again.
Well, you gotta be careful
Pray
what you pray
again.
for because
Or maybe it's just your
he may
decision.
give you exactly what you asked
Maybe it's
for.
just your decision. I mean,
He might give you what you're asking for. It doesn't mean that that's right for you, but
there's
you know.
countless stories of people that probably should have maybe took a look at one, and because they saw something else that they thought was their
thought.
God saying they're ramming the bush. They passed up with possibly could have been the right one for them. I don't know.
Yeah, they
This song is called "I Wonder," and
okay. He walked into that bush,
right.
yeah, you know. Are we ready?
Okay, all right.
Okay, we just talking. I hope this works. No, it's not ready.
Then you go playing
It
with
was-
words again.
Okay. Yeah, it's coming from this clip. All right, we're gonna do it like this. Hold on. Hey man, I'm just gonna go back to the original for the sake of time. Cause you guys can hear that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, what's up? Lesson number 1 of Facebook Live: take the grease off the camera. Nobody's cloudy like that. Please teach him. Take your shirt and wipe it off. It'll make a world of difference. No, it's not. The camera. The camera's up there. Wipe the camera
He
off.
said nobody's cloudy like that.
Nobody's cloudy like that. Look. Look at that. There's so much clip. No, it's still. Oh, there it is right there.
There's a protector
Okay,
on there, don't
okay.
you?
All right, here we go.
You guys are bullies.
We're not. We're just
You say that
serious. We're just serious about our what's name. All right, here we go. All right, we get a little snappy once in the window seat. Hey.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Oh, hey. Yeah. Oh. I'm gonna tell you a story real quick. This song is called "I Wonder." Maybe some guys can relate. Check it out. Listen. I remember just like it was on yesterday. High school prom was so long ago. She was looking so fine. Should I ask her for this dance? But I was scared. What would she say? I don't know, baby. Still I think about it now. Where would we have been today if I just asked her for her hand? Guess I'll never know, so I'll have to reminisce and think on how things could have been. Yeah. Oh, I wonder, yeah, if I'm a man she could love. Oh, I wonder, baby, oh, if I'm a man, yeah. All right, so do I keep going? I know for the second time.
I would have let you keep going.
I didn't know. I just let it go because I know.
It's a long version.
It's a long version. I just did a version of chorus.
That was
I
wonderful.
appreciate it. Thanks, y'all.
wonderful.
Thanks for the opportunity to allow me to come and share my skills.
Okay.
Very much. You want to sing a piece of the book?
No, I'm
Okay,
gonna hold off.
You want to?
Thank you.
You can do row.
Wow, man.
We gonna let him do the row. You got it now? What you doing, everybody? Look, I can't sing it. Y'all don't want me to sing.
man.
Okay, you don't want me to sing.
So let me say this. I'm going to give you some dates for the. If you guys want to find out the dates, of course, it's Brian Chris Online. But to date, I do have May 18th. That's going to be in Alexandria.
Okay.
May 25th, I'm doing a benefit concert up in Baltimore, Owens Mills in particular, part of the Women's Foundation, the Women's Challenge Incorporated. Shout out to Lorraine Bailey Carter. And it's actually like an evening of food and wine featuring yours truly. And it's to benefit and support and celebrate stroke survivors.
Okay.
So it's going to be pretty dope, man. It's going to be nice. It'll be held in Owens Mills. You get all the details online. And then on June 9th, just something just for the next 3, I'll be Fairwood Community Park in Bowie. They have a summer series they've been doing. And so I'm actually the kickoff act on June 9th at 4 o'clock, along with Geneva Renee. She'll be opening up, and then I'll be the headline for opening up that series for the summer. So those are 3 things. I got other things coming up, and they're already on the website. But those 3 things you guys can write down, and hopefully I may be able to see at one of them.
Absolutely. And I actually wanted to mention, because you are an event host For, is it a radio show? Neo Soul, or what is
I
it?
host the Neo Soul show
Okay.
for a music company. They're called Next to the L.
Okay.
.com, NEX, the number 2, THEL.com. They have a Neo Soul show every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And we'll be on in 2 weeks. And I'm going to try to recruit this young brother here.
Absolutely. We're making connections in
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
We just not
What?
gabbing, we
And
connecting.
you know what? We're gonna both sing something.
Oh,
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so
Yes.
let us know how
I
we
said
can
it.
be
We
a
gon-
witness.
Yeah. And
I
then
want
we-
to be there.
Why they doing you like
I
that,
need to
man?
see this or hear this. So no,
You can send
but we
us
definitely
in
want to know
private, too.
when you all make that connection,
Absolutely.
or if and we'll support and everything.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
this was absolutely
Well,
a
definitely, I
pleasure.
appreciate it. I appreciate the invite, and you guys are awesome hosts. And
Thank you
and
so much.
I wish you much success to the show, and
Thank
you know,
you.
and going
you.
forward, and you know, and I feel sorry for the men coming after us because you know,
I know
at the
that's
end of
right.
the day, I don't know how they can follow. You might as well go on back to your regular
my
scheduled
God.
program.
This was a wonderful kickoff. This
You
really
know what I
was.
mean? Well,
Really,
I
really
mean,
was
we
right.
just, I don't know how they're going to do it, but, you know.
Can't get better.
Y'all, they just tell them to do their best.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do your best, brothers.
Good luck.
So thank you all for
Thank you
joining
all so
us.
much for
Appreciate
joining
you.
us.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we wanted to actually mention before we leave, we had a couple, we're going to definitely give us a few minutes so we can hear Brian sing, of course. But
right.
next Sunday is actually Mother's Day.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So we will not be having a Girls Gabbin show because we will be
Celebrating us.
celebrated
Yes,
as
yes.
mothers, and
Absolutely,
it's just a special
absolutely.
day. So we will continue or resume on the 19th, I
19th.
believe it's May, and we will not be having a show on Memorial Day weekend
Right.
that Sunday. But we'll keep you all abreast. So stay tuned. I appreciate you all tuning in. Andrea, any last words?
Yes, as you all know, you can reach us on girlsgabbin.com. Girls Gabbin on Instagram. You can reach Lisa individually, myself, Andrea Riley individually, and download the app WinDC Radio on your phone. Listen to us on Sundays from 7 to 8 p.m. We thank you and keep listening to Girls Gabbin.
Yes. Thank
All
you so
right.
much for
Girls
tuning
Gabbin.
in. We will get to your
Yes.
questions and anything else you all asked that we couldn't answer right away.
And we will
And don't forget
And we will
about
select the winners.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
Yes,
we will
and we
select
will
the
notify
winners.
everyone of all the winners. So thank you all so much.
Yeah.
I'll be your plus one.
That's it.
Thank you all so much.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Awesome. Great job. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate it.
Everybody.
I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, that's on that. That's the first cut on that album, in fact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder. Oh, let's consider. All right, let me go on
Yeah.
from there. Okay.
What's wonderful.
Oh, okay. My
turn
mom,
us
my
off?
mom listening.
We're not off yet.
Oh, okay.
We done. I know, but it's.
This is your time, man. He ain't turned it
What
off.
happened?
Just get it in before he turns it off.
You still
Do
live.
whatever.
You still
got
live.
to, you know.
Yeah, we still-
Nights
go
like
ahead.
this, I
I
wish.
told you.
Daddy Kane. Daddy King Jr.
You gotta go,
version.
Eddie Kane.
This
Nights
might be
like
breaking
this,
point.
I wish
Oh my
that
God.
raindrops
You're
would fall.
You're supposed to be able to do it on spot, right?
Well, he ain't ready for that.
The pros can do
He
it
ain't
on
ready.
the
He ain't
spot.
ready for that. He ain't ready for that.
Prep time.
Don't put that kind of pressure on us. You know.
Terrible.
So how much are tickets to your show?
35.
That's not bad.
Yeah, 35. Man.
And you have them?
No, online. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
online. Yep. Yeah, so Lisa and her husband be coming.
Yes.
Yeah, so come